It's really difficult for them to stay together when there are teams, trying to poach a player or two. I'm not
Exactly,
saying about
yeah.
Viking GG here. I'm talking about everyone in the CU scene and CIS as well. You form a team, you make something good for yourself, and then some bigger tier 1, tier 2 organization comes and picks you apart. Same thing happened for, if you remember, GPK's team in last year. Like it's not that GPK was the only shining star of that team. There are many reasons why they did so well in the qualifiers. But he was the one like standing out a little bit. You take him out of the equation, suddenly they fall apart. Same can be said with like the last series that you watched. You had Sani there and you had Curry, right?
Yeah, Hippomaniacs.
Hippomaniacs.
Yeah.
It's the Czech squad, right? Saberlight. He was great there, but when they're together, they just had so much synergy that it worked. It wasn't really only about him. But when you take him out of the equation, suddenly everything falls apart. So I'm really happy that Viking GG are sticking together.
Yeah, I think that's like what you're touching on there, Liz, is that's what I really like about Viking GG, is that they got to stick together, they haven't been picked apart, and now we get to see the fruition of that hard work.
It's because they never get invited to events, They're
It's like, even when you're doing well, you're not invited anyway.
They're not comfortable. They're a band of brothers, They got to stick it out together.
Forever.
But in terms of the draft right now, we're seeing, I think, I'm kind of enjoying Vikings more because a lot in terms of comfort picks, they're pretty much aligned to that, and they're already kind of got the answers to Cyberium, like this Rubik pickup for Erasmus. How do you pronounce his name? Oh no, it is Aramis. All right,
Aramis.
Mate, pronunciation today. This is like the big issue.
You've been stumbling on the pronunciation. It's unlike you, Tigo. You're British. Come on.
All right, I'll sort it out. But no, like you've already got the Rubik to deal with. Like pretty much great game already. Spells across the board to steal. The Lifestealer doesn't really care too much. You've got this like instant counter with the Bane, but there's so much team fight already and annoying stuff from Viking that isn't really going to be that impactful. So I'm already kind of in Viking's corner for the draft.
So I guess Cyberium are looking at the Bane Phoenix combo. If you look at Viking GG, the only way of destroying the egg, really, if it's well positioned, is by Nyx running straight into it and raging, right? If you position it far away from Snapfire, which you should. So you have that Bane with the grip, then you have your Pango rolling through to make a mess. And sometimes, having too many spells can be a problem for Rubik. Do I steal the Rolling Thunder? Do I steal the grip? Yeah, that's... I have to side with T-Governor as well. It's looking very, very good for Viking GG right now, specifically with the Slardar pickup as well. Now you have that minus armor.
Yeah, I'm just looking in terms of like Cyberium, how they're approaching the game. They're never really approaching a tower with confidence. They're never approaching Roshan with confidence. They're pretty much playing on the fact that you want Viking to initiate, have a failed initiation, and then you turn it around with the Pango roll with the Haunt. And with that philosophy, I think we've watched so many games today where if you're not able to have any proactive nature in your draft, you're pretty much waiting for mistakes. And if mistakes never happen, then you never really have a way to play out your game. So just seeing Cyberium's heroes and the fact that like Slardar with Blink Dagger with Lifestealer, very classic combo by the way. Like they're gonna jump on anyone and they're just gonna blow up. Like you could argue Spectre's the only hero that could probably itemize to survive, but everyone else is gonna be just food for when these guys hit like 15 minutes. It's gonna rip them apart.
No. What about the Spectre, by the way, guys? How many games of Spectre have you seen so far in the tournament that were successful?
Not enough for how good it is in the pubs, I guess.
Yeah.
How about you, Liz?
Yeah, I really have a feeling I just have a feeling that it's one of those heroes that right now can work in pubs very well, but in pro games, when the teams are compact and playing around a solid strategy, like one or two mistakes with this Spectre and your whole strategy that's basically based around protecting her falls apart. So yeah, I'm not sold just yet. But
this ban though from Viking, this was going to be like the example in which it allows it to work. So for example, like OG with this Invoker, it's that sacrificial hero that doesn't really go for too greedy of items. So for example, you go like Phase Drum, maybe you go for the Vessel, Orchids, like some small stuff. But you're still being so annoying that you buy enough time for Spectre to get to his items, and you force enough small fights that Spectre can join and get his gold through the kills. So the fact that banning out this Invoker is like an answer to, okay, we know how to enable Spectres, so we're going to start banning out these type of heroes. Just mids that can be sacrificial, but super annoying.
The Viper ban, obviously, also versus the Spectre. I watched that last game, and I can't believe that Spectre was picked and Viper went through. It's like hero that's it makes your game impossible. Even if you go for a Radiance build, that Radiance still isn't your power spike. If you go for Manta, it's still not your power spike because you need the BKB afterwards. So it's a pretty good ban by Cyberium.
Quap as well, another one of those heroes that can just make very strong rotations, isn't really too reliant on items to have some impact. For Cyberium, I'm thinking like maybe like a Kunkka, because you can itemize for armor, you just can frontline a little bit. Again, you don't do any tower damage, but you just all in on your team fight that you should be able to survive with the boat buff. You have this egg roll. Like there's so many ways to win the big fight. And if Viking do ever mess up with one of their initiations, it could just be the deciding factor. But again, it's still a little bit of a greedier hero. Not a lot of early damage. You're just basically playing to survive. And
is it enough to save him though from this?
At the mid game, sure. Early game, not so much. But luckily, I guess the counter to that is Viking are waiting for like a mid-game timing, right? They're waiting for items and then they'll be activated. So it's not as if you're going to have towers being pressured. Oh, they go for Storm instead.
This is also for Cyberium complete comfort zone. They're not straying away a lot from the heroes that they've picked in the last week, let's say, because if you look at Viking GG, these last two bans, the Invoker and the Co-op, it's something that Cyberium really picks quite a lot, at least the Invoker. And if that's banned out, they go for the Storm. So, you know, when you're playing versus a team that's considered a little bit better than you, you don't really want to stray a whole lot away from your comfort zone.
Like the thing is with Boom, he's such like a typical mid laner where he just plays like the standard mids. Okay. He's not really like, I guess Brood is probably his like one kind of like curveball hero he has, but other than that, it's like Co-op, TA, DK, Ember. Like he's just like the mid laner, a classic mid laner. So. We'll see if anything quirky comes out, but what would
definitely the game he could do it in if he wanted to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the rest of his drafts is pretty clean looking. So,
is it all really so one-sided for Viking, or are you seeing some sense of what Cyberium could try and pull off if they wanted to grab at least a game here?
There's a tiny cool. So in terms of the greediness, it's like you now have. Wait, who are they putting the tiny mid, I guess, right? So they're just going to be able to run around the map and just be super aggressive. And I think Storm and Spectre together in the same draft, you're investing so much into items and your early damage is somewhat mitigated that with Bane as your 5 as well, like I worry that Cyberium can't really take strong fights early on, that it allows Viking to get to their timing, allows for them to apply the pressure.
This lane of Pangolier plus Phoenix must do really well, but the problem is they're laning up against your Snapfire and Nyx, Lifestealer, and they shouldn't really falter on that lane. They should do well. They should stop them. And you're looking for the Pango and the Phoenix to really be your centerpiece in that mid game together with Storm. Like these three heroes really need to do a lot, and if the lanes don't go too well for them, I'm afraid it's all just gonna fall apart, and this Spectre will come online way too late because you'll have a Slardart with the Blink Dagger, and Nyx is going to be taking that ride 24/7 hunting your heroes. It's going to be difficult for Cyberium.
Yeah. And the last thing about the Tiny, for example, is like even if Slardar has a bad lane, you've now got this like second like mechanism, for the Lifestealer to jump inside. So if Slardar has a bad game, Lifestealer just gets inside Tiny, same game plan, different hero, same amount of like explosive potential. So it's going to be, I think, very scary for Cyberium. If they somehow survive the early aggression, get to like this late game stage, sure, but I don't see it happening against Viking.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? We spoke about it at the beginning. It's a very different caliber in teams of how this level go. It's more just to see how Cyberium can handle it, right? It's some good experience for them and see what they can do. At least they're on their comfort, though.
Comfort doesn't always win.
We know, we've seen it many times. But I guess you're going Viking all the way.
Yes. Well, for this game.
Okay, you're not getting.
They could like forget to pick heroes next game and random. I don't know. So let's keep it. Yeah, for this game, they're in the driving seat. Thank you.
Liz, you saying the same thing?
Dude, it's hard to not go for Viking after their recent performances. I know Mastermind for a really long time. I've been playing against him a couple of times in the same stacks as well. His Invokers, his Storm Spirits are really good. We'll see if we can pull it out because, it's going to be difficult. The Spectre... Dude, I'm just not sold on the hero after seeing it get trashed for a couple of days in a row.
My only fear is when I was looking at the draft, I did see above Cyberium a lack of Mastermind as the player tags. So unless he's done a rebrand with a new name, they might have also just replaced him. So I don't actually know if Mastermind's
really.
Yeah, it had some different name in the second slot. So like this guy that we've clung on to and gone, wow, we know this mastermind guy. He might not even be playing, lads.
Yeah, but they still pick his heroes, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy might not even play squad.
He left such a good imprint on the team, but yeah. We'll see. Maybe he just did a naming rebrand.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a rename, right?
Hopefully.
We've not been told the information yet, but we'll see when we get into the game. Let's get into that game now. It seems like it's Viking all the way. Cyberium have got a tough hill to climb, but we've got Sunsfan and Synderen ready to bring us all the action. Guys, take it away.
Into the official match, so you guys knew exactly what you were talking about. Unlike my co-caster Synderen.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Nothing of anything. Hello, I don't know why you're even here, honestly.
Yeah, me neither. Got lucky, I guess.
Very lucky to be associated with somebody as prestigious as me.
Absolutely.
You know, there's one person in chat that thinks that I'm being truthful right now. They think I'm being mean to you.
You think
always one person?
I think there's more than one.
5 to 10. I have faith in humanity.
5 to 10%.
Oh, dear. No wonder my career is going downhill. Everyone thinks I'm a dick. But anyway, what do you think of these lineups, Synderen?
I like them both. I mean, it's very easy to favor Viking here, right? Just because of their abilities as a team and what they have shown compared to Cyberium. As we actually have a little bit of a skirmish here, but... Yeah, we're probably going to hear a lot of bok this game. Just a fair warning here. I think the Viking GG players really like that.
Every single time now.
So, yeah, I think the concern I slightly have for Cyberium is that I think if Storm isn't off to a good start, I'm a bit uncertain if they can really match just the fighting capability that Viking's lineup has. It's extremely explosive. You have Tiny's Burst with Snapfire. You have Slardar Lifestealer Bombs. There's good spell steals for Rubik against Bane and against, I would say, against Pango as well. If you're really quick, stealing Rolling Thunder has won a couple of games that I've seen. So, yeah, you gotta make sure that Mastermind is comfortable and off to a good start, and he needs people to play around. Because he can die in the blink of an eye here. This is not an easy Storm game in my mind. Like, Tiny combo is very powerful. Slardar Lifestealer can almost one-shot you with a combo as well. And usually Storm likes to play against those lineups that either don't have lockdown / silence or that don't have overwhelming amounts of damage. So even if you do get stunned, you stay alive, right? This game is kind of a minefield. He's playing into 4 different stuns that also all have really good damage. So tough times.
Yeah, I do want to talk about this mid lane just because of Tiny, but let's leave that for last because I feel like I'm going to go on a long rant. So top lane, we have the Shad Lifestealer with the Celery Snapfire versus the... an Asian name on Phoenix and Sam on Pango. What do you think of this this dual lane setup from each respective side?
I like the lane for Viking. I mean, I think you're just going to farm, right? Pango is not going to put very much pressure on Lifestealer early on. Snapfire and Phoenix will be trading blows, which will favor Phoenix largely, at least in the start. But eventually, I think the kill threat of Lifestealer, you see this, they're actually gonna, they might even kill him here. Yeah, this should be first blood. Level 2 advantage
as well.
Oh, he got level 2 though.
Oh, yeah, he leveled up just at the last moment. Now Celery's gonna take the brunt of the damage here. Sam continues the pressure. Lucky shot not proccing there. Celery forced to pop a Fairy Fire. So damage done on both respective sides. But yeah, you're right. The level up there was
very fortuitous level up.
All calculated, I'm sure.
Yep.
I personally have not seen Snapfire yet since the change to the little shredder doing minus armor now.
Yep.
Does that change anything with the hero at all? Not even talking about like right click because that's, I know, obviously not a thing, but just like a laning stage maybe.
I think with some matchups it's slightly better. Like you have a minus armor strat here with your team, so the little shredder for that definitely contributes, and it's nice. It's also a good lane partner for Lifestealer, a bit more than before, I guess, because of just the overall damage he does physically.
Bottom lane, Crush connects into telekinesis as well. Huber gets bashed up.
I believe it's Pubber, but
Huber.
I'm not surprised you chose that version.
All right, we're going to have a talk about this again as Boom in the mid lane getting quite low. We'll roll away with that beautiful taunt, one of the best in the game, in case you were wondering. If it was Pubber, it would have 2 Bs. That's just plain and simple, Cinderin. It's Puber. He's pre-pubescent. It's some sort of... Well, he walks into a crush again. Fade Bolt to follow. I mean, in terms of CS, 15-0 for Spectre right now versus 17-2 Shad Lifestealer.
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about this lane. Spectre alongside the Bane, Puber's Bane, of course. Aramis on the Rubik.
I can't take it seriously if you keep calling him Pubert.
I mean, that's his name. I don't know.
His name is Pubber. It's not Pubber.
Right, what if I'm correct? Do you want me to just incorrectly pronounce it?
No, if you're correct, by all means. But I'm pretty sure his guy is called Pubber.
What makes you say that? I'm just curious.
That nobody would name themselves Pubber.
Oh, Lord, top lane. Sam, he does not have his swashbuckle still on. That was probably the greatest answer you could have possibly given me. Holy Jesus. Oh, I gotta recover now and cast a game. Whew. So Puber in the bot lane with little Pleb on the Spectre. Finds Toby.
Yep.
In the trees right now, gets a crush off, but it is a 1v2 at the moment. He's gonna find his Aramis support incoming though with the Fade Bolt.
This is a very good Slardar lane. The Spectre matchup is super easy, but obviously offset by Bane being one of the most dominant lane supports. So it's kind of what's making it work here for Lil Pleb in the bottom lane is that is his support hero. You need something like Bane or Enchantress to handle this lane the way they're doing. So obviously very clearly a decision they made in the draft to protect a greedier or weaker carry in the lane. Although Spectre is not as weak of a lane carry as you would think of it historically. Like sometimes people underestimate how much this hero has actually been buffed in lane presence, but still Slardar wins.
Top lane. Swashbuckle was used again, kind of to do damage and get away, but I don't think you can have it both ways. A Shad. All right, health salve there at the last moment. Might end up getting a trade here. Oh, he actually stopped attacking there.
No, he got the hit off.
Oh, did he? Was there another?
Yeah, Pango just didn't die. He got the armor aura from the tower and stayed alive with the damage block as well.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was close,
and they lose the Bane. Or I should say the Snapfire instead. Nice little turnaround there from Cyberium.
Yep.
Definitely should have been a death, but Pangolier is very happy that did not occur, because this is a very important hero in this in any respective lineup, because it is the most fun hero in Dota, in case you were wondering, Syndrome. We're going to see the avalanche toss into the cookie. Don't even need to layer it properly at all. It's all about the damage right now.
That is that risk that Storm Spirit has to play into, and I really like this from Boom, the way he has skilled this game by prioritizing the spell burst. You could sometimes see people prioritizing tree grab or just playing a more farm intensive way, but I'm not completely sure for mid tiny right now if this is the default way to do it. Like you get tree grab level 1 for the easy CS and then you do go this build now that tree grab has changed.
Bottom lane.
Either way, it's definitely good here.
Storm Spirit TP'd bot after that death. They're gonna find the kill on the Slardar, and Aramis might be next, although not much mana left on Mastermind. He's gonna get off one right click and walk away.
See, it might, like for a lot of heroes, this feels like a good rotation.
You're going to have to hold that thought because there's more action in the top lane. Avalanche toss is enough to take out the Phoenix. Sam looks to be next on the list. Boom, walks away from the explosion that is that disgusting thing that he just threw, the skeletal tree something. All right, you can continue.
Tree something, yeah, let's call it a tree. I'm not sure at this point if Tiny has a weapon that's a tree anymore with the new cosmetics he's got. He's probably going to get a rifle on his next set or something. At
Dude,
this, like the trajectory is seeming like that. Toby's laying into Pubber bottom.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be a kill on the Bane, who will remain nameless. Mastermind got Avatos, but it wasn't enough to actually take him out, and it might cost Boom his life.
Yeah, stick charges.
Yeah, it looks like he will just barely live. Dodges the Fire Spirit as well, and there's a cookie to hold the Phoenix in place. Boom with the Avalanche again, and the Swashbuckle a little bit too late. Not sure what it matters. Either way, a Spectre dies in the bot lane.
They're getting
that's a little bit
smashed
surprising.
across the map right now. It's really, really easy for Viking to find these kills. And yeah, I mean, you TP the Storm bottom on Mastermind, right? You find the kill on the Slardar, but you used your entire mana pool plus TP for that. And then when you cross back to mid, you just don't have any juice, right? You bottle up, you start clearing, but it just takes so damn long to get all that mana back. And in the end, like, yeah, you've rotated to bot. How much did it cost you? Now you have to go back to base. It's just... Storm is a very delicate hero, I feel, to rotate on because of how much you have to commit to find kills. Most other mid heroes that rotate, let's say Puck or Queen of Pain, you go somewhere, you drop your spells, use maybe half your mana pool, and then you get back to mid. Storm, he committed everything to get one kill. And it just feels really bad because you know there's a Tiny free farming mid at the same time or who can also rotate. And Tiny's rotations, they cost 230 mana, got him 2 kills top, goes back mid with 2 bottle charges. He's like nothing happened.
Now that we have a little bit of time, I do want to talk about Tiny, just in general. You're talking about his build this game. People have been switching it up a little bit since he got changed again. Obviously, maxing the Avalanche Toss here with the casual level of Tree Grab. He is transitioning towards the bottom side of the jungle here. Pubber on the Bane has the Nightmare available, but doesn't see him in time. Avalanche Toss is not enough. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. Being used in quick succession. Oh, that was a good attempt at the cookie, but Tiny will still die. And in fact, Celery die as well. So
they
a nice
definitely brought numbers.
From Cyberium, indeed. And the bash on top of the Corrosive Haze, and they'll at least get some consolation prize in the Pango, who perhaps a little bit too aggressive.
He had no business doing that. He literally, didn't he just swashbuckle next to Slardar with no teammates around? That was interesting.
I like the confidence. That's the Pango I want on my team. Somebody with extreme confidence.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Pangos on your team make those moves all the time. So
I'm talking about myself, really.
Yes.
Because I'm the only one that plays Pango every game.
That too.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's a couple of kills for Cyberium. They rotated 5 heroes for this. They need to get a couple of bounty runes to not make this net loss, and it does look like Phoenix found one. Oh, instant lift there from Aramis, easy kill.
Very nice.
But at the same time, Mastermind, I believe, got 1 bounty rune top, so it was a 2-for-2 split. Not too bad. Yeah, it's really... In Dota, in this patch, or just in the last patches for quite a while, rotating for kills is something that needs to be a lot more calculated, where in the past, like if you go back a couple of years, you rotate for any fight, and you're like, we got kills, it was good. But here, you rotated 5 heroes to, I think, trade 2 for 1. Meanwhile, Lifesteal was free farming top the entire time, and it actually ends up being a loss for Cyberium, even though they found the kills.
Phoenix, additional damage being applied. He doesn't have Egg quite yet. Will still come in with the dive. I like the confidence again. Looks like Bane's going to be the first casualty, but Celery gets his ult off, finds the Phoenix pretty easily. And now Spectre is forced to pop the ult in a defensive manner, but it's going to open up for Mastermind to jump in, get the kill onto Tiny. Here comes the Rolling Thunder in addition. Celery looks to be the target, but Mastermind pretty much at half mana is forced to get out.
Oh, good
Another
cookie.
Beautiful cookie, delicious cookie for Lifesteal. I can only imagine what he likes to put inside his mouth, as Mastermind will be chased down with that Corrosive Haze. But ends up being trades all over the place. A 5k lead for Viking right now. Honestly, doesn't really feel that bad. I mean, feels like they're winning.
But then you open up the CS, you know? It's just... The Lifestealer is just miles ahead. He has 30 more CS than Spectre, and a big part of it was that last skirmish bottom where Spectre got involved and Lifestealer free farmed the whole time. Outside of that, Lifestealer's lane has just been going better. It's way less pressure. Against Pango Phoenix, this lane is very easy, whereas the Spectre's lane against Slardar has proven to be really difficult. And I don't think Lil Pleb has done a bad job. Like it's challenging to play that lane. He has 1 death and 57 CS minute 12. It's honestly par for the course, or maybe even a bit better. It's just that the opposition, it's just so much easier for them, just strategically, to do what they need to do. And Viking have been doing a very good job at, I don't know what I should call it. Should I call it like map economy? Just like how they spread their resources. The number of heroes that are brought to moves, getting bounty runes in the meantime, just being way more efficient overall. It's an easy kill on the Pango here.
Casually dies there. That was, I believe, an invis rune for Boom, so easy peasy for him. He's going for the Blink Dagger. I hope that, okay, we have some time to talk about Tiny. Let's talk about the 3 lives of Tiny, Cinder. And I'm going to divide it into A, B, and C. He's had 3 different variations of in terms of like skills that he's had. All right. The original is A, for absolutely incredible. Let's go with. So it's the Avalanche Toss combination. He used to have a passive called Craggy Exterior. You just buy Blink Dagger, it would be all magic damage. Aghanim Scepter would provide the tree, which gives you all that cleave, and it's the IO Tiny combo is pretty much the standard. And we're going to hold that story, Cinder. And it's going to be a long story, apparently. I can never get it out in time. They're looking for Storm,
Good scan.
but he does zip out.
Yeah, that was a great
scan.
read. Nice job.
This is the Blink reveal as well. I'm not sure if they know.
Rubik actually broke smoke on top of a ward, and they don't have Haunt. Spectre has a TP though, but they don't feel confident here going in, understandably so. So yeah, that was version 1.
Yes, version A for absolutely incredible. He was a lot of fun to watch. You play him mid, you buy Blink Dagger, you get the bottle and all that. You're very active, okay? The second variation we'll call B for by far the worst design of this hero.
Okay.
Is the one that he currently is, actually, since they reverted it, where you get this tree grab. It only has a certain amount of charges. And I want to say, historically speaking, on a competitive level, it was mostly support during that time. As we're going to see in Infest, bomb into Toby.
Uh-oh.
And they're going to find a couple heroes under the tower. The egg is placed immediately, but that's an easy cleanup for Shad. And they're going to turn this into a massacre in all likelihood. Pangolier is next. Rubik does die. It's a 2-for-1 to start, but the more important heroes have died for Cyberium thus far. Toby kind of stuck inside the trees here, waiting for the right time as Boom jumps in again. The Avatos combo. And there's the Snapfire ult dealing massive damage to Lil Pleb. Not enough to actually finish him, though. The tree was thrown, but Shad will eventually find the kill. In fact, it's a triple kill for Boom, as Slaughter finds his way to the grave, as Mastermind cleaning up himself. So Mastermind doing a really good job of taking a lot of these kills, but Viking as a team are decimating under the ultra kill for Boom. He wants this rampage. He wants to prove me wrong that the B version of this hero is, in fact, the best, and the rampage for Boom. Okay, so that is the second version of Cinder right there.
Yeah, looks pretty good to me. I don't know.
But he's building it like the version A. That's my point. Okay?
Okay, version C.
Yeah, version C was the most recent that was changed, where tree grab was an infinite amount of attacks. So you build him more as a carry a lot of the time.
C for carry.
C for carry, exactly.
Okay.
Which...
Since
why are we seeing him mid?
You have presented, let me just first say, you have presented all of these versions in a very unbiased manner. So you can very easily come up with our own opinions. Oh, hang on.
All right.
Boom.
Boom jumps in again. Avatos instantly deletes Bane. The electric vortex was... I was going to say it's a little late, but he was stunned the whole time. He's going to be continually to be stunned by the old Roshan. Understandably so.
Pleb is out.
Don't want to be disturbed there.
So what do you...
on little Pleb right now.
Oh, wait
we're
is
not
he
done
not?
yet. Toby, he's look... Ooh, Boom. Boom. Take some trees for yourself. Okay, go ahead. We have A for absolutely incredible, B for by far the worst, and C for carry. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Are you asking me which version I like the most, or why Tiny goes mid now?
I mean, both. Let's just do both.
Why Tiny goes mid now compared to last patch, I am not really sure about. I can't give you like a very good answer to that, because I would say the previous version, in theory, in mid should have been kind of just as good at this as Tiny is now. But so it's probably like other secondary changes. Like the Avalanche buff is really nice overall, so it just makes, you know, Tiny... his stun is just better, right? It used to have this travel time on Avalanche, but now it just instantly starts stunning, which is really big in some matchups, at least.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a good question. What my favorite one is, though, is probably either the current one or the first one, I think.
Okay.
The one with infinite hits on the tree, I don't find that interesting. I feel like now it's more of like a strategic choice. You know, you get this like, it's kind of like you empower yourself, right, for 5 hits. So you need to. The other one's just like, it was just really no brain, right? You pick up a tree and you smack with it for like 30 minutes in the jungle. I guess, is that interesting gameplay? I don't know.
I love it. Yeah,
I think this version of tree grab where you get a finite number of hits and then throw the tree, I found fun to play.
See, the change when they made
there was also
it,
something about Craggy. There was something about Craggy, wasn't there? Like those moments with Craggy.
You'd stun somebody as they're just attacking, like, yeah, get wrecked, bro. But,
Yeah.
I mean, when they changed it so that it was an we're going to see Sam use his ult.
Oh, mistimed the cookie
wants
there.
to come out. Yeah, he wants to, but he's going to get perma-stun for now. And looks like he will fall one way or the other. But when they change it to a infinite amount, it felt like a quality of life thing for tiny players. And then just to revert it back is like a, what would you call it? A quality of death change, I guess would be the opposite.
I like that. I don't know if it was a quality of life. I think, like, maybe people find it frustrating to pick up a new tree all the time, but it's like, does it make heroes more or less interesting that actives get turned into passives, right? Like that. I don't know. Orchid reveal.
Initiation onto
Easy, Rubik.
Spectre with the infest bomb. Shad infests his teammate, I believe, just temporarily.
Really made them work for it because of that
Find the kill on
infest.
Rubik. Yeah. Little pleb able to
They
TP out
got
to
it.
safety. All right. Could have
It's
been a
a
lot
kill.
worse, no doubt.
Again, it's one of those. Storm makes this rotation. He gets the kill. It cost him his entire mana pool to kill a support. So now he's kind of just stuck in the jungle for a bit. All right, that's a good kill.
Full duration, Fiend's Grip. And a kill goes to Spectre. You couldn't have orchestrated that any better. Had to use Haunt to get there, but certainly worth it. That was more of a, I believe it was in base at that time.
Cyberium are finding a couple of picks here, so that's nice. That one was a core, so there's quite a bit more net worth on that Slardar than the Rubik that they just killed. So more valuable kill overall. Storm has now returned to base once again to refill, so Mastermind will probably be looking for another play here, but damn, this Tiny is so far. His CS is actually relatively low, right? 75 for a mid laner minute 20 is very low at this skill range, but it's obviously because he's prioritizing just being an assassin, and they're letting Slardar become the secondary carry here, going for Midas into BKB with Dagger. He's actually super rich on Toby, and lifesteal, it goes without saying. It's Roche time. Their super minus armor lineup will make quick work of this. Tiny with double damage.
Beautiful
Hitting for
stuff.
400.
Can't even get the little shredder off. He doesn't even want to, apparently. I assume that works on Roshan.
Yeah, I think he's saving it in case Cyberium want to fight, then they have it for the Supernova. It's a really big part of the reason you pick Snap into Phoenix, obviously. It's just a great way of dealing with the egg on level 1.
Shad
Which
takes
is
the
now
Aegis
level
for
2.
himself. I feel like the biggest deal about getting the Aegis for Viking is more denying this, not only Spectre, but obviously Storm Spirit from acquiring it themselves at some point. That is a huge denial in theory.
All right, somebody's going to die bottom. It's Pubber.
Really? Who's it going to be? Okay. Puber himself, huh? Infest Bomb. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. That was dirty. Mid lane, Storm died. That's a more important kill. Thanks for distracting me, Cinderin.
No problem.
Rolling Thunder a little late. Looked like Boom just jumped in with the Avatos. I don't even think Cookie was expended, so was able to take him out basically himself there. Does have the Echo Saber, by the way. It's going for the Silver Edge.
Great item against Spectre.
Indeed.
It's such a feel-good item now on heroes that want to buy Saber anyway. Just like, I have a Saber hero, and on top of that, I can break someone. It's just amazing. Like, Tiny is a great example. We've seen heroes like Slark starting to pick this up now as an item. I'm missing another one here. That's
Echo
obvious.
Saber was, I mean, it used to be very popular on Slark, but then kind of not so much the last almost a year and a half or so. But because it combines into that now, it just feels way too good not to get.
Yeah, it feels a lot better to buy now.
Your 2-tower bot taken out basically by Shad alone. He has the Deso Armlet, Hand of Midas, and of course Age is working towards the heart himself. He is by far the top net worth right now, and in second and third are his teammates, which is always good. Toby,
I think
we
it's
haven't really
infest
talked about
time
him
again.
too much, but I didn't realize they have double Midas. Holy jeez.
This is not going to end well for Cyberium if they get a core caught. This is a very good smoke. It's super fast. All right, they lost Pubber.
Boom!
Don't think that
Sam.
was the swashbuckle to use there. He has Dagger. All right, he should maybe be
Does have
fine. Nope, he is not fine at all.
and not able to ult. Double kill for Shad. They know the Mastermind is in the area, but of course it is a Storm Spirit, so it's going to be quite difficult to pick him off, as he shows
Nice
there.
try, but he jumped very far away
What
there.
what are your thoughts on the double Hand of Midas this game?
So both Slaughter and Lifestealer?
Yeah.
There's only one on Radiant, right? Yeah, only the... Or 0, actually. Never mind. My bad.
I don't think Spectre has one.
Yeah, Spectre didn't buy one this game. That was last game. I'm not completely... Oh, that's a dead Phoenix.
He's dead? Easy game to call. He's dead.
It's super easy to just be like, it's great because they're owning, right? If they were playing against a formidable opponent, I don't know if it would work as well. So it's obviously something to keep in mind, right? Like, if you're just 3 times as good as the enemy team in any situation, then you're always going to be looking amazing with buying weird stuff. Not saying that's the case here. They're clearly better, but yeah, there's obviously... I'm wondering. I think the reason Viking choose to do it this game is that they feel like their lanes are so favored and the enemy lineup is so slow that they're not going to get punished, right? It's a Spectre, Pango, Storm, Tricore. They need farm, and it takes time. You are arguably easily the team with the higher tempo, and your heroes don't need a lot of gold to do a lot of damage. So a lot of the time, the trade-off you take with Midas is it's an investment item, right? You pay a lot of gold for something that does almost nothing. It's 40 attack speed in fights, which is really terrible in net worth conversion. But on a hero like Slardar, it's really good because attack speed is a lot of damage on that guy because of Bash. And on the Lifestealer, it's really good because of Feast. So it's not like other Midas heroes where it's just an amplifier, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, your mid heroes are mega fast Tiny.
They really need this kill on Tiny.
They
will find it, so that's a good start for the fight. Fiend's Grip actually applied to the Slardar before the Storm dies. He actually zips out in time. They do get the egg, though, and Pubber looks to be the second casualty here. 2 for 1. They'll take this any day of the week if they can get out. Sam on the run. They actually find the Rubik as well, so it's an even trade in terms of numbers, but there's the Pango. Gets deleted off the map, but still, Spectre and Storm live. I feel like with an 18k net worth deficit, you take this if you're Cyberium.
You do, but you would like to gain more than 400 gold when you lose all 4 bounties right after, right? Like, it's the timing of the fight is really, really not good for them. But I don't blame them for trying it. I think, you know, again, as we've been saying quite a few times today when it comes to these like less experienced teams, I think one of the things that really sets the better teams in this group so far apart from the weaker ones is ability to take initiative. Like it's how fast they move on the map. It's them seeing that moment of opportunity, pushing out waves, instant smoke, or picking heroes that work well in tandem and then playing around each other as duos, such as the Slardar Lifestealer or the Tiny Snapfire that we've seen combine like 10 times this game to find key kills. So with that in mind, like Cyberium, there was a bit of what we want to see, right? I think the weaker teams today have... A big part of it for me has just been they have been the ones initiated on.
Oh my god! What the hell? That's not fair. Good god, man.
Slardar has got quite a bit better this patch. The armor formula was changed a bit, so minus armor is better. And on top of that, Corrosive Haze got its old values back with 10, 15, 20. So essentially just flat out buffs across the board for Slardar. His damage is absurd.
Hubbard does get the Nightmare off, but Snapfire takes it off immediately, and boom.
Oh, he didn't die there.
Doesn't finish him. All right,
Whoops.
A little cocky.
I thought he had him.
Don't get cocky. It's going to get rocky, Cinder, and you get it because he's tiny. He's rocky. Huh? That was pretty good, I know. Pat myself on the back there.
Yeah.
Breath.
Yeah, nobody else is going to do it, so you better do it yourself, buddy.
Enjoy. Boom's going to take out the tier 2 himself. And this is a 23k net worth lead for Viking. Of course, we're not very surprised considering... I mean, we've cast a lot of Viking ourselves as top lane. See the Infest Bomb again come into play. The Spectre decimated under the pressure of Viking.
And he was trying
came
to
back. He's like,
he was trying
I'm
to TP
joining
out.
you!
It was close. I was like, did he forget to cancel out? There was a TP animation. I just couldn't see it. Almost got out, but not quite. And now Sam, I don't know if he's getting out of this one. He has a swashbuckle to base, but no.
Oh, he gets telekinesed into the Avatos.
See ya.
Man, Viking. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We've cast a lot of Viking against tier 1 teams, and they've always looked good at
they're
minimum,
competitive. Yes,
right?
correct.
Absolutely. Like, they face the best team in the world, which is Secret, as of right now at least. And they didn't look terrible. They did lose 2-0, but it looked somewhat competitive. It looked pretty competitive. One of the games I think they threw, actually. They should have won one of those games, if I remember right. But I've been really impressed with them overall. as Bane is dead.
I think people still underrate how good this team is. I'm not saying the pro scene itself does, but I consider Viking one of the stronger teams in Europe, basically. Like they're secret, obviously at the top of that, and then OG are kind of making waves again. Alliance seem to be doing well, but I feel like Viking goes into a series against anyone in Europe, and I give them a good shot against any team. And if they're against the other, like Secret is kind of an anomaly. If they're against any of the other teams, I would give them a good chance of winning the series right now. Like, they're definitely very good, and they're showing in this game. Like they're just completely obliterating this Radiant side. It's not even close in any aspect. They beat them in the lanes. They beat them in rotations. I like their draft a bit more overall as well.
Cinder, why don't we pool our money together along with a millionaire, just a random millionaire that we find, and create an organization in NA,
and then call it Puber
Viking here. We can call it anything we want as Boom gets another kill. Just bring Viking to NA, you know? They'll have a much better time out here. Of course, that is considering the Corona is a thing right now. We'll just ignore that aspect of life. What do you think? You in? Sounds like a great idea to me. This top lane, Infest Bomb again. This was with a Rubik, so not nearly as much damage as a Slardar, but still instant death. I would holding on to the repair kit, by the way, for Shad. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
It amplifies with Heart of Tarask, I believe, right? Unless they, I can't remember if they changed.
I suppose. No. Yes.
Obi pops the BKB, and Rolling Thunder will be bashed through. Indeed. So feels pretty bad as a Pango when you die in your ult to a right click. Phoenix able to get out just in time. How much regen does he have right now? He has
just realized
114.
I just realized I didn't mention Nigma or Liquid for Europe either. And I think Nigma right now are making waves even more than Alliance are. But like, just despite that, like all of those teams that we mentioned, like the big five or whatever you want to call it of Europe, Viking goes into a series against them, I expect them to be competitive every single time right now with how good they are.
For sure. I mean, you're just backing up my point, Cinder.
Yeah, for sure.
We should create a team called maybe Digital Chaos. I don't know if you like that name, but
what about
make an org based on that? You know, can make it purple and orange, very good colors that don't clash at all.
Yes, excellent.
You know, it's a really good idea. I'm gonna try it out sometime. Anyway, back to the game. 32k net worth lead for Viking.
It's a good amount. It's more than 1k a minute.
They're just waiting for the old Roshan, I think.
Yep. Making waves here. It's spawning in 20 seconds. Oh, jump onto Boom.
Oh, this would be a very big kill indeed. Rolling Thunder on top as well. Oh, that was a beautiful Abyssal Blade to hold the Rolling Thunder in place. And that's actually going to help Boom live, but it's going to cost the Bane grip onto Shad, but he is so tanky, it just doesn't matter. And they're going to just rip through. Although Snapfire does die. Boom still comes in with that BKB activated. Very low HP. Storm trying to finish him up, but he goes into the last second, and they can't find him now. Boom somehow lives through all of that. Unreal. Spectre's dead. Bane is dead. We have a double buyback. I believe Pango just bought back, along with the Phoenix. The Viking looking very, very strong. Triple kill for Toby. He's just a one-man army right now.
Shad has been using Infest super well this game. That was actually such a great save on the Tiny. Like you said, the Abyssal into straight Infest. Just like a range. He basically made it a ranged save, right? By Abyssaling that.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, they called. Oh.